Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to yet another Destiny 2 Forsaken weapon review. This week a new Nightfall exclusive weapon is dropping called the Horror's Lease. It's a 540 rounds per minute pulse rifle. Now this weapon has a small chance of dropping from the Corrupted Strike, and luckily enough my buddy Ryan got a curated god roll after grinding it for a little bit. Now obviously a big shout out to him for letting me use his account. All of his links will be in the description if you guys want to check them out. Without any further ado, let's just jump right into it. Now the pulse rifle has a Dreaming City theme that's the same as all of the other Dreaming City weapons. So if you're a collector of sets, this is going to be one that you want to snag as soon as possible. Now taking a look at the stats and the perks, as I mentioned earlier, it's a 540 RPM with a hefty 45 in the magazine. The curated god roll that he got comes with a Masterwork Stability, and thank God because this weapon really needs it. In terms of perks, it's got Zen Moment and Outlaw. Now I definitely appreciate the synergy between Zen Moment and the Masterwork of 10 Stability, as it makes the recoil manageable on console. One thing that stood out a ton is that Outlaw sped up the reload speed by honestly a pretty stupid amount on this weapon. It's almost as if it was reloading twice as fast, or maybe even faster than that. Now I'm not sure if Outlaw affects reloads of all weapons like this, or if this is some kind of weird special case scenario, or maybe even a bug. It just felt like this weapon was super slow when it was reloading, and as soon as I got Outlaw, this thing was just instant. I don't know, it was very strange, and I've never seen something like it on any other weapon with Outlaw. So I went into the Crucible not really knowing what to expect. My first few games were fantastic and I was shredding people, even with myself still getting used to my brand new SCUF controller. But after a few games, reality started to kick back in and my feet came back to solid ground. The weapon is good, but once I matched up against players who use the best PvP weapons in the game, it really wasn't a contest. Now, that's not to say that the weapon is trash or it's not good, because it's definitely a solid weapon, especially in close to medium range gunfights, but it really excels in those close ranges if you can handle the recoil pattern and stick onto people's heads. I have a sneaking suspicion that once again this is going to be a weapon that's a lot better on PC than it is on console, mostly because the biggest issue I had with this weapon is just a recoil pattern. Now it's a cool weapon that performs well if you master its specific ranged capabilities, but it'll never be more than that due to its rather low range and weird stability on console. Now that's with all the stability things I have on it, so just thinking about this weapon without them makes me think it would perform pretty poorly. Again, remember, I do have Zen Moment and I also have 10 Masterwork for stability, so without both those things, I don't know, I feel like it would just be too difficult to deal with on console. Now I'm a big fan of this archetype, but if you stretch your gunfights too far, you're gonna lose, and oftentimes shotgun apes can wipe short distances and beat you, so really the only thing that's left is medium range for this weapon to shine in. Now weapons that perform well in the dreaded medium range category usually have some kind of identity crisis, and it feels like this weapon is amongst those. To conclude, if you were to ask me if it's worth grinding this weapon over and over during Nightfalls, I would say that there's so much other stuff right now in the Forsaken expansion that's worth doing instead of this. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, if you are a collector, then this is something that you're going to want, but if you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of time, this is something that I probably would skip and wait for, you know, when the content dies down a little bit and when this Nightfall comes back into the rotation. Now last week there was a super unique Nightfall sniper that was definitely worth getting, but this time around I would only recommend it to collectors. Again, it's not a bad weapon, in fact it feels fun to use, but other weapons are just too dominant in the Crucible right now, like the Ace of Spades, the Luna's Howl, the Not Forgotten, and so many others. That is going to do it for the video though guys. I would give this thing a solid 6 out of 10. Again, not bad, pretty good weapon, but it does have its shortcomings and many other weapons are better. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, a like rating is always very much appreciated. Subscribe for more daily Destiny 2 Forsaken content. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all later. Peace.